Hi, my name is Mashanta and welcome to my YouTube channel. I have a series where I document all the beauty products that I own, which includes makeup, skincare, hair care and so on. In today's video, I'm going to count out all the blushes, highlighters and blush plus highlighter face palettes I own. I hope you enjoy. All of my blush products right here. I counted before this video, by the way, and I happen to have 21 products. I am in shock myself. I have no idea how it got to that point. So within these 21 products, I have 3 dedicated highlighters, 3 face palettes which combine multiple blushes and highlighter, and that leaves us with 15 dedicated blushes. It's crazy. I don't know how it got to this point, but here we are. So I'm going to show you and swatch all those blushes for you in today's video. And if you like any of these blushes and you would want to look at how they look on my skin tone, please let me know. I'm happy to do a dedicated video later on. This is the Viseart Orange Violet Blush Palette. It's a palette of powder blushes. This is how it looks. It's not as soft as you would think. I thought this would be like an interesting palette to have because of how pigmented it is and all the variety of colors that you get, especially for when I'm traveling. So the swatches aren't the best, but this is how it looks. I should have been smarter about what I wore. I'm wearing like an all white kurta and I'm going to be swatching all these blushes. Like, that's silly. Used this once and I used this bright purple shade. And let me tell you, on my skin tone, that doesn't look so good. I have to play with this a lot more. I don't use it regularly enough. Charlotte Tilbury, this is like the blush wand. This is the Easy Liquid Blush in the shade Pillow Talk. I personally find that Pillow Talk is too light for someone of my skin tone. You have to twist this to switch it on. So it's in the off section and you have to switch it on like that. This is how it looks swatched on the skin. It's less pink, and when I spread it out, it's like a pale pink, a pale cool tone pink. It looks very pigmented on the hand, but on the face it's not that good. I would say if you're in and around my skin tone, I think Pillow Talk medium. I don't know if they have a deeper blush, but a deeper version of the shade would look much better than this one. Kaleidos. This is the Kaleidos blush. I think it was called Sanguine. Unfortunately, while the packaging is great with this sort of lace detailing, it doesn't mention the shade name, but it's a lovely color. This is how it is in the light, but when I get it closer, it looks stunning. An orangey pinky red, and the formula is very nice. It's a very beautiful pigmented swatch. I should use this blush more. I just keep forgetting to use it. This is one of my recent additions. I have the Patrick Ta Cream Blush Duo in the shade Oh She's Different. And this is how it looks. My index finger has the cream formula. My middle finger has the powder formula. And I put the cream first. And this is how it looks. Beautiful. So when you just put the cream on its own or the powder on its own, it doesn't show up, but when you put one on top of the other, it really shows up. So you have to be a little light-handed when you're using this blush. So the way Patrick Ta suggests that one uses this blush is by putting powder first and then cream, but that seems so counterintuitive to me. So far I've used cream first and then powder, and I've been very happy with how it looks. I have this NARS blush. This is in the shade Aroused. And it's like a beautiful deep purple blush. I've had this for a very long time that it's actually become hard panned. You can still see the shade. That's how it looks. I was planning to declutter this. Oh no, I just broke this. Wait, I have to fix this. Damn, is this a sign that I'm supposed to throw this away? I can't carry this anywhere. I don't know, I've broken it. I was planning to hold on to this because I read this hack online that you use scotch tape on top of your powder products that have hardened and it's as good as new. But I've also broken the casing and I clearly have a lot of blushes, so I don't think it makes sense for me to hold on to this. So I'll probably declutter it because it's also been there in my collection for nearly 6 years. It's a lovely shade though. This is in the shade Aroused, and honestly I am so irritated with NARS. It's 2024. I can't believe they have such names which are double entendres. Like, there's a lot of innuendo and It's really annoying that NARS continues to name their products this way. So now moving on to the Tarte blushes. I actually have 4 blushes and 1 highlighter from Tarte. These are like the minis. Can you see? These are like the Amazonian clay blushes. I remember buying this maybe 2 years ago. This was like a multi-kit. It was a very good deal. But the problem is I never use these blushes. So let me quickly open them up for you. The first blush that I have is Captivating. It's a lovely terracotta blush, but I think it's too light, too peachish to show up on my skin tone. Light. If you can see. I don't know if you can see. Very light, so maybe possibly have to declutter. Then I have this highlighter in the shade Fantasy. This is how it looks, by the way. That's like such a tin foil highlighter. It's quite blinding. But when you apply it, it doesn't look so blinding. I really need to use highlighters a lot more often. Then I have another one in the shade Charmed. This is a bright pink. Again, peachish pink. So it might be too light on my skin. Yeah, it's very light. It hardly swatches, to be honest. So this also needs to go. I have Exposed, which is actually a blush I've used decently enough. But this is also peachish, so maybe it won't show on my skin tone. Yeah, this can show a bit and I've used it a bit, so I'm going to keep it. And finally I have Delight, which is I think a good shade for me. Yeah, Delight is nice. So Delight I need to keep. And these are all the blushes swatched. Sorry, I hope I'm doing a good job swatching it. The problem is my arms are a lot deeper, so they don't really show up on my hands very well. And so maybe I should do a dedicated video brand by brand showing how these look on my face. If you're interested in something like that, please let me know. Then I have this Danessa Myricks cream blush in the shade Golden Hour. It's like a vibrant, shocking orange. It looks scary in the pan, but it's quite nice and it's perfect for someone of my skin tone. It's a very creamy formula though. So that's how it swatches. Like you can see the deep orange here. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely color. Let's play around with some face palettes. I have this Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm face palette. 4 shades. The bottom row is the contour palette. It has a cream and powder counter. And the top row is the blush and highlighter palette. The highlight. That swatches so beautifully. My hand is covered with swatches. But it's such a soft, subtle, shimmery highlight. It's lovely. I always take this when I'm traveling because you've gotten like 4 products in one. Cream and powder contour, highlighter and blush. Speaking of Charlotte Tilbury, I also have this Hollywood Blush Glow Glide palette. A blush and highlight. Oh wait. Can you see? It's a lovely color. That blush feels stunning. This is the blush swatched. That blush really feels so soft and blendable like an eyeshadow. I think I could use this as an eyeshadow as well. That's how it feels to touch. And the highlighter is so powdery smooth. It's stunning. It has like a gold finish as well. Pat McGrath. This is the cheek palette in the shade Divine Rose. It has 4 blushes and 1 highlighter. And it's honestly so stunning. I got the deeper one and all of these shades work for me. All of these shades work for me. These are the shades. I think I need to clean my hand up. Like these 2 shades are the last 2 shades and they're super duper vibrant. It's very easy to use, highly pigmented, but you have to start low and then build it up gradually. But when you use it, especially on someone of my skin tone, it looks stunning. I don't use the highlighter much, but the blushes are great and I used to use this for work every day. And whenever I use this, even if I didn't do much on the rest of my face, I always looked alive. I always used to get a lot of compliments on my makeup. This is possibly like the oldest product I have. This is the Fenty Beauty highlighter in the shade Trophy Wife. It is stunning. It is such a blinding highlight. I just have it for the memories, to be honest. And like, let me show it to you here. Like, look at how stunning that highlight is. Sorry, I'm swatching on my neck because my hands are like completely, and it looks so good. Unfortunately, this is really old. I think I bought this in 2017. I'm scared to use it anywhere on my face, but it performs exactly like it did then. There's no smell. I don't see any mold. So I'm going to always keep this in my collection because I remember how much I lusted after Fenty Beauty and it hadn't entered India then. So I bought this on one of my international trips. I think I'd gone for work. I was so excited to find Fenty Beauty. I really bought a lot of Fenty Beauty products. None of them have lasted so long, but this has. And you know, this is a good idea. I think I'll start swatching on my neck so that you get a good look. Because my hand is like full of these swatches. This is the Say Dew blush in the shade Dreamy. I think the doe food is super satisfying. I haven't used this blush yet. I just bought it recently when I had gone to New York. So this is how the blush looks. It's such a lovely berry colored blush, deep enough to show up on someone of my skin tone. So if you're in and around my skin tone or even slightly deeper, I think this is a great blush to have. It's super pigmented, like even blended out, it's really visible and nice. I just wonder if it'll be sticky on my face, so I don't like that feeling. But I think as a blush, it looks very promising. It has great reviews online. Two more powder blushes, and these are from House Labs. House Labs has killed it. I mean, social media always talks about these blushes and they look stunning. I haven't used them yet. I don't want to swatch them either. This one is in the shade Watermelon Bliss and this is in the shade Hibiscus Haze. It is so stunning. So let's start with the Hibiscus Haze. This is how it looks. Can you see? That's like stupid placement. Okay, let me try to do it here. Yeah, that's Hibiscus Haze. Lovely color. I know it looks a bit light on me, but it looks really good. Then Watermelon Bliss. This literally looks so scary, but I'm sure it's gonna look great. It's like almost a red blush. And let's see. Wow, will you look at that? Will you look at how vibrant that blush is? Amazing! So that was Watermelon Bliss. Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand in the shade Pillow Talk. I didn't know this was also called Pillow Talk. So this is how it is. Has that spongy tip. Let me put it here. I think it's too light for someone of my skin tone. It has like a bit of a pink tint, but it kind of has like a silvery pinkish undertone, and I don't think that will look great on someone of my skin tone because I actually have neutral to golden to peachish undertones. So I don't know if this will look good on me, but I got it as part of a set and it's actually very Tin Man looking on the hand. I don't know if it's translating. And finally, down to my last 4 blushes. I'm surprised I have only 4 blushes and these are all from Rare Beauty, by the way. So first I have the shade Truth. This is like a berry sort of a color. Oh, that looks quite deep, but yeah, you can see it's a nice pinkish berry. It's very pigmented, but you just need a light hand. I've tried with fingers and sponge. If you have a beauty sponge, it's really easy to control the product, but you also end up wasting a lot of the product because a lot of the product transfers onto the sponge. But if you want a super pigmented look, you can use your fingers. Then I have the first blush that I ever bought from Rare Beauty. This is in the shade Love. So it's like a peachish, orangish, terracotta-ish blush. You can see it's quite deep, but when I spread it out, it becomes a lot more manageable. And it dries down to a powdery matte finish. I really like the way the Rare Beauty blushes feel. The one challenge that I have is I do think they're not very long lasting. I should test these out a bit more. Probably they will last longer when I use a spray. but I find the powder blushes like from McGrath last a lot longer than the Rare Beauty liquid blushes. I don't think I've extensively tested it enough to kind of make that judgment call yet. Two more blushes. I have the shade Encourage from Rare Beauty. Now this is like a more watered down version of Truth, and I find that this is very light. I think it's very similar to Pillow Talk if you think about it. You can see this is Rare Beauty Encourage, Pillow Talk. Side by side you can see the difference. Rare Beauty has a bit more berry and Pillow Talk has a bit more peach. The newest Rare Beauty blush that I have, this is in the shade Encourage. Literally a red blush. It's super red. Let's see how it looks on. Wow, that's how red it looks. Super duper red. Sorry, I'm swatching it on my neck. It's just that my arm is like completely full. And this is how it looks blended out. Wow. Wow, it blends out to a very pretty color. Okay, I'm going to use the remaining blush on my face in a bit to protect the whiteness of my kurta. So those were all the blush products that I own. Just to recap, I have 21 of these products. 3 of them are dedicated highlighters, 3 of them are like face palettes, and the remaining 15 are blushes. Now, of the ones that I tried, I did find that these 2 Tarte products were a bit too light for me. One was captivating and one was charmed, so I will give these away because they are hardly used. And I also broke the NARS blush in the shade Aroused. So even though the color is lovely, it's perfect for brown skin girlies, I will have to actually throw this away because it's also very long in my collection. So I don't want to give it to anyone else. I don't think that's right. Therefore, I'm left with 18 blush and blush related products. Clearly, I have way too many blushes and way too many highlighters for somebody who doesn't even use a highlighter. I need to do a better job of using these in rotation. Like the Kaleidos one is so pretty, but I just never use it. I never remember to use this. Really, this is a sign that I should stop with buying more blushes. But that's the end of this video. I hope you found this video helpful. It was definitely interesting for me to go through my blush collection and see what I have and just remind myself about all the things that I have in my collection. And it's also a good reminder that I need to use up the products that I have. If you have blushes or if there's any other category that you have which is bloated, I would highly recommend going through what you have, counting it out, trying to remember what you used last, and let me know in the comments below. Let's encourage each other to use up the products that we have and try not to buy new things all the time, because every season there's obviously something new, shiny and exciting and trendy. But I mean, I sound like such a hypocrite because I literally just went to New York and bought like 5-6 blushes, but you know what I mean. These are formula that I wanted to try, that have been on my love list for a really long time. But anyway, coming back, if you have a category that's super bloated, or even if you want to discuss blushes, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this sort of video series or format. I would love to know. I know I can do a much better job in the swatches, and hopefully the next time I will have better swatches to see. That's all from my end. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you around. Bye! 너를 보고 싶어 꿈에 다시 와줘